watched a movie the other day that really opened your eyes to the mindset of the female mindset and to why you may have that feeling. Can you go into that a little bit?
I can. I did. It was about Alan Turing, the imitation game about the guy that broke the Enigma code. So fantastic movie, but the whole movie is oh no, not that one.
No, it wasn't that.
That's right.
No, it wasn't the
Crazy Into the Woods movie, and in there they're doing all of these musical singing. And every time the guy sings, he bases a line that says, "I don't care, I'm just going to go and kill it." And then it flips to the woman, and the woman's like, "Should he go? Maybe yes, maybe no. Oh, I don't know. But if he goes, what will happen? But what should I do if he doesn't?" And it's just 10 minutes of back and forth questions. And I turned to the good lady of the manor, and I said, "Is this what you do on a daily basis? Because if it is, this explains women to me, finally. And this explains why 3 months after something occurs, they finally got to the answer that you did something wrong, and then you're in trouble, and you don't know what you're in trouble for anymore."
The vacillating mindsets of the female. But, you talked about FIFA, you talked about
you can put that in fact now. That's a psychological fact, I believe. That's done.
We're going to put that.
It's been proven by Hollywood. It must be true.
And it's been proven by the guy from Ancient Aliens, too. You know how that goes.
But you talk about FIFA, Stacey. You talk about the votes that these countries have. And, look, there's money to be gained from these countries to support a guy that is kicking back money to them. You look at the Qatar situation, a country where it's so bloody hot that they're going to have to play these games at night because the players won't survive otherwise. You've had over 100,000 people die in the midst of building all of these stadiums that will ultimately be empty and unused after this event. So this whole FIFA thing is just rotten from the top down, and now you have UEFA formally protesting against this entire situation, do you not?
Yeah, they actually are talking about breaking out, which would be extremely interesting because if you break out, you're left with the European Cup and the rest of the World Cup, I guess, because the European nations won't be involved,
which means we have a chance to win.
Well,
unless we play Ghana again.
Yeah, let's not go that far. But no, you wait for all because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. The whole FIFA mentality is crazy. I mean, if you look at it. To me, the World Cup should be the best 32 countries in the world should be playing in a World Cup. The way FIFA does it, Australia gets in. Because they have to play, at countries that only have 5 people that live there, so they can't even field a full team. The States play, don't you play Trinidad and Tobago or something as part of your qualifying? I mean, America's qualifying is basically a joke, right? They might as well just give them a pass for the World Cup every 4 years. There you go, you're in. And then you've got teams like Poland that may not make it, that, probably on any given day would maybe kick half of the people's asses that are in the World Cup. So I think it's ridiculous. I know that they want to expand the beautiful game, but the beautiful game is now the corrupt game. We've gone the way of the Olympics, and everyone's just going to start turning off if they didn't turn off already because of the flopping.
So what do you think a good solution? I mean, if you could be the head guy that would start choosing how things could be reworked right now to get the best teams in the world in there, what would you do as a series of small movements to get to the way to pick the best 32 teams in the world?
You've got to reset qualification. So you can do qualification almost in a drawn group method to make it more random. So people say that qualification has to be regional because you don't want to have to travel that far. Yet the United States plays friendlies against Italy and Spain and everybody, so that's obviously totally bogus. These teams could easily travel a couple of times a year. This is all they play.
And the friendly games piss me off, to be completely honest with you. Do they annoy you?
Yeah, they're a waste of space.
They are a waste of space and time. And then people pay good money for a game that doesn't mean shit.
Well, it's a cash grab.
Yeah, I give you that.
I want to get back to
give the manager a chance to see his team playing because they don't get a chance normally because of the regular season. So, I mean, I get it, but generally, make it random drawing so everybody gets put into groups and the top of those groups progress to the next round and then they progress into the World Cup. Brilliant.
I think that's pretty fair.
Now you've got the best nations going in. But I think that's start number one. Start number two is the World Cup does not have to be in God-forsaken places that don't really watch soccer. It's just crazy. You put it in Seoul and Korea, you put it in Qatar, and what they're doing is they're taking it away from the people that are basically the base of the fans. It's like saying we're going to play the Super Bowl in London. Oh, wait, they are going to in a few years. That's right. But anyway, it's exactly that mentality. If you take the Super Bowl out of America and you play it in a different country because they want to spread the NFL, it's like the stupidest decision ever.
Yeah.
Because all of your home fans are over here. And I think the same thing for footy. I think it should be mainly based in South and Central America because there's just a huge wealth of football there, obviously across Europe, and then occasionally where the bid is there and the bid is good and they have the infrastructure, go right ahead. This whole idea of building stadiums to knock them down, I think, is ridiculous when the world can't even feed everybody. So that's all got to change.
Yeah. We're talking to Lord Stacey Cheese, who is calling us from the Cheese Manor, probably getting a drink served to him at the moment of a nice pint of Wells Bombardier from Chelmsford, I'm sure.
I do, and it's in a correct gentleman's handled glass as well, which I think we all appreciate.
But, here you have the situation here with FIFA, and now with all this corruption, look, soccer or footy, whatever you want to call it has been gaining a lot of momentum on a global level to the tune where even here in the States the popularity has really boomed. Does a situation like this now, does this take the casual fan and ascenicize them to the point where they begin to be turned off by soccer?
I almost think it's the counter, because I think it gives them more to hate. So now they talk about it more. It's in more regular conversations. Heck, the next thing you know, Jimmy will be talking about it, and he hates soccer, but he'll talk about people flopping in soccer, and as they say, right, all publicity is good publicity. There's no such thing as bad.
Well, I want to go back to... Go ahead.
So I think it just gets the word of the game out there, and the reason soccer grows everywhere is because it is a game that any people can play. There's no kit. There's no money to be spent. You can put down jumpers for goalposts, for crying out loud, and kick a $5 ball around. So it's the best game in the world for underprivileged kids in every country out there.
I mean, fully agree
name
with
other
that.
sports where you don't need equipment. There aren't that many. Well, I guess the long jump.
Or running. Running is always good because they don't got anything in Kenya besides open country to run in. So that's why all
That's why the Kenyans win, because they've got nothing else to do.
But we need some Jamaicans for some cool runnings. You know what I'm going.
His name is Lord Stacey Cheese. We appreciate you calling in, buddy. We've got some hockey talk that we need to get into here, but we'll definitely be checking back in with you on this FIFA thing as it develops. Look forward to getting your opinion more. And, hey, when the show's over, we'll hit you up and see what you're doing.
No problem, sir. I'll be having a beer as per usual.
Would that beer possibly be a Wells Bombardier?
Well, of course it won't be a Wells Bombardier. A gentleman doesn't drink anything else.
Now, I'm just kind of curious. At your house, do you have anything in maybe an aluminum bottle that a douchebag can drink? Just curious.
I do not have anything in an aluminium bottle.
Oh,
No.
Marsha. That's how we go around here, folks.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you, bud. Thanks.
Lord Stacey Cheese calling from the Cheese Manor to offer his enlightened opinion on the FIFA debacle that we are still sorting out. But I tell you what we need to sort out tonight is we need to sort out a win.
What we're going to sort out tonight.
We need to sort out a win for the Lightning against the Rangers. The game going on right now in the background here. Unfortunately, I can't even see the TV from here. And
Andy, what's the score?
I mean, well, it just started. In fact, the puck drop probably hasn't happened yet because when I say an 8 o'clock game now, it takes 20 goddamn minutes to start the game lately. You notice that with these hockey games now?
Yeah.
It takes forever to start these games. But,
I know.
But Game 7 here, it's in Madison Square Garden. Rangers, Lightning, they choked away Game 6, man. I mean, they looked good the first two periods, the Bolts did. They played a pretty responsible game. Then you get they're down 2-1 on a couple somewhat fluky goals. You get down to the third period, and it's an
Just give it
utter
up.
defensive collapse.
They looked exhausted.
Horrible
There was no
breakout
jump.
passes that they, like you said, they looked exhausted. But then you find out, Miggy, that apparently there's a little bit of a flu bug going around in the locker
and
room.
a lot of guys had it, too.
Oh, man.
Alex Kaloran, they were interviewing him, and he revealed that a lot of guys are trying to get over this. So hopefully the extra day of rest, they had 2 days
Cortisone.
off. Hopefully that helps. And hopefully you see a much invigorated
Thanks,
team
Bette
here
Midler.
tonight. But meanwhile, you've got the king of Game 7s in net for the Rangers.
Why are you laughing at that?
The wind beneath my wings.
Do you know that? You know that's why there was an extra day in there.
What?
Bette Midler
I
performed
thought-
at Madison Square Garden last night, which made them had to postpone the game
Well, I
last
didn't
night.
know
But-
that.
But you got to think, too, that both teams got a 2-day break between
Oh,
them.
yeah.
But
No, I know,
I
but-
thought you were talking about that they needed a little wind beneath their wings.
No. The game was actually delayed because of a previously.
I thought she was dead.
No, she was here in Tampa. Not
Is
too
there a
long ago.
more obnoxious and unattractive woman than Bette Midler?
Oh, God, Sandra Bernhard.
You know what's funny is as soon as
Really?
you know what's funny, Miggy, is as soon as I asked the question,
You
as
saw it
the
in my
question,
eyes, didn't you?
No, as the question was rolling off the tongue, immediately in my own head, I answered my own question with Sandra Bernhard.
Or Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
one. Or Rosie O'Donnell.
Or we could.
Yeah,
actually,
dear God,
We
could go on.
we only have 2 hours tonight, guys.
There's
so-
a pretty big list here.
Hey,
but
Andy,
no,
what's
I
up,
mean,
man?
you've got the king of Game 7s. I mean, Henrik Lundqvist 6-1 in Game 7s, tied as, or actually, the winningest Game 7 goaltender in NHL history.
Yep.
So this is a tough task ahead of us. You got to see this team buckle down. But when I like the commentary that we're hearing though from Lightning players when they ask Steve Stamkos about it. He says, they're the winningest in Game 7, but they never played the Lightning.
Yeah.
So you're getting those kind of responses from Lightning players. That's encouraging, but hopefully they back it up because, look, a lot of veteran players will tell you this. Sometimes this is the closest you ever get.
It's true. Look at prime example was frickin' Jeremy Roenick. Played with the Blackhawks. Played with didn't he play with the Sharks here and there and
Play with the Sharks,
Quite-
play with Phoenix.
and he's been almost there every time. And he cried when the Blackhawks ended up winning the cup after all them years. When Jonathan Taves and Kane came in, I remember him crying because they knew he never made it.
Wow.
It's devastating.
Well, the problem they had with Bette Midler playing last night that delayed a game, we also had that same situation here in Tampa last round.
Yeah, when we
The
started at
Nitro
1 o'clock,
Circus
yep.
was here, and they actually Nitro Circus canceled their show, but it was too late to reschedule the game, and that's what caused Bishop to collapse from playing 2 back-to-back games, like we talked about. There's a good chance they may have another issue like that if the Lightning win tonight. If the Blackhawks win tomorrow night, the Lightning will have home ice, and Game 2 is scheduled for Saturday night, not this Saturday, the following Saturday night. And that's the night that Garth Brooks is performing here. He's got 2 shows already scheduled on
And they're
Saturday
all
night.
sold out.
And they're sold out,
Yeah.
yeah. 2 shows. He's got like a 7 o'clock and a 10:30 show on Saturday.
Maybe
night.
they'll play at Brandon.
A highly anticipated concert.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was. I
Yeah,
mean, a
Kurt-
lot
Yeah.
of people were waiting for Garth to come back. I know our friend Andy over here. He has tickets for that.
Yeah,
so
everyone
it's-
loves the girth.
Yeah, well,
But-
they're apparently they've got a backup plan, or they're working on a backup plan if that happens. But be interesting. But probably just delay a game.
At the end of the day, these arenas, they have to continue to make revenue
Right.
regardless of when a team does or doesn't
I mean,
perform.
these shows are scheduled almost a year out.
Absolutely. So you work around it, but the extra rest much needed. Now, a friend just posted on my Facebook page, apparently there's some outrage because the NBC Stooges, as he liked to call them, basically have proclaimed the Rangers the winner already before this game has even started. So, good luck to the Lightning. We'll continue to pay attention to this as it goes.
Absolutely.
On the other side of things, you talked about the Blackhawks. Well, the Blackhawks won Game 6 in a dominant fashion, 5-2, against the Anaheim Ducks. And they have forced a Game 7, and that game's going to be tomorrow. If I'm a Lightning fan, I want to match up against the Blackhawks. I don't want to play against Anaheim.
I don't. I'm actually scared of Anaheim.
Anaheim
say it.
is a bigger, faster version of the Washington Capitals, and much like we said with them, how we didn't want to face them, much the same thing going on here with Anaheim. So I'm curious to see how that game's going to work out. I'm not a Blackhawks fan by any stretch of the imagination. It was interesting. I was listening to Dan Patrick earlier today, one of my favorite radio shows.